This land is my land, it is not your land, because I bought it, this makes it my land. So we're out here in Bell, Florida right now, clearing land for Red's Hideaway Glamping site. It's my new Airbnb property that I'm working on. It probably will not be done for a while, but I wanted to come out here and show y'all what we're doing, what we're working with, how we're doing it. I got William Royster clearing the driveway and the land for us to get the septic and well eventually put in, the power, things like that. It's rural out here. It's 3 miles down a Lime Rock Road. And I'm calling it Red's Hideaway Glamping, not because I have red hair, because I met somebody at Pete Davis's barbecue in the summer of 2019 who just got really mad with me, like one step below hysterics, when I foolishly told them my real estate plans. You know, they asked, oh, what do you got going on? Like, how's it going? What are you up to? And I foolishly told them. You don't tell people what you're doing, you show them. I made a mistake, it was an error, it's my fault, lapse in judgment. I told them what I was doing, and they said, well, you can't do that. And just started escalating and escalating, enough to the point where even after I left the barbecue, they were still talking to people how I couldn't do this, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? You hear those sounds? You hear those sounds? We're doing it. All right, we're doing it. So I'm naming it after that person. Part of their nickname is Red, R-E-D. R-E-D, the color, not red like I read something. So it's Red's Hideaway Glamping. We're gonna get a nice hand-cut, hand-carved sign back there at the property once it's finished. And there's an airplane or a helicopter. That's pretty rare in these parts. Hope we're not under attack, right? So it's an acre of land back here, and I'll take you guys through it very briefly and show y'all what we're working with.
I'ma bring the whole block out. I'ma bring the whole block out. I'ma bring the whole block out. When it's something I need, the whole hood gon' come.
On the way out to the country, I stopped off and sold some worms. I have a worm farm as a side business, and it's growing. It's growing pretty steadily. It's not going to be a side business for long. Here's a couple worms. So I stopped out at a store to one of my customers to sell them some worms on the way out to the country, so it helped pay for gas for my trip that day, which is good, especially now since the gas prices are so high. So let's talk about how I'm setting up Red's Hideaway Glamping. This is the first property I've done that I started with nothing but an empty lot, and I am building from the ground up. And when I say I'm building, I mean I'm coordinating it, but there's a bunch of people involved in the process of the actual building. The first thing I needed to start construction was a land use permit. That meant I had to go to the county with a copy of my deed and my survey to show the county that I own the property and I was planning to build something, okay? The zoning for Red's is approved for single family dwellings. That means I had to show them that I'm building something meant for a single family, meaning I can't build a school there. I cannot build a arcade there. I can't build an apartment building. You get the idea. And it's also used to verify that I, in fact, own the land to which I'm going to build. That means I can't just go build on someone else's land and hope that they don't find out about it, kind of thing, you know. So the land use application was step one. Step two was the driveway. We needed some way for the construction crews to access the property, right? It was nothing except trees and dirt and grass, so we had to have the driveway permit. That means someone from the county had to go to the property, mark a flag where the driveway could be made, and then I had to call William Royster to come dig the driveway. That means coming from the road and back to the property. Now, coming from the road to the property had to be exacted to one specific set of plans because you're coming from a county road onto your property. So the county has that easement. So you can't just put like a 10-foot wide driveway. It has to adhere to their standards. But once you get to your property, you could do whatever you want.
cat. Instead of saying that they shouldn't, said they better than that. Who are you to tell them that they shouldn't peddle in that? I put them on to something new, now who's better in fact? My homie on the run from probation. Goes without saying that he's starting.
So this property is about 15 minutes away from Ginny Springs and 15 minutes away from the Swanee River. So it's for people that want to do both activities in the same weekend, in the same trip, so they can stay here and be equidistant from the two places and also have a little bit of privacy. It's a hideaway glamping. We're gonna have full water and plumbing and AC and heat and all that stuff. So it's maybe one step above glamping. It's more like a rural living. I know what type of property I'm gonna put here, but we do not have approval from the county yet, so I don't wanna say what I wanna do. I wanna wait till the engineering plans get stamped and I'm given the permit, and then I'll tell y'all. But if you follow me on Instagram, you know what I wanna put here. I just don't wanna say it yet in case we have to do an audible and put up something else. When I was out there with the land clearing crew, some of them let me get in the bulldozer and knock down a tree. But when I got in the bulldozer, my knee ever so slightly hit one of the levers and the tree fell down just as I was sitting in the chair. It was super fun. I got to knock down a tree, even though I didn't really knock down the tree. My knee knocked down the tree. But it was still super cool to look out the windshield of a bulldozer and see a tree fall.
We got the land cleared. Now we're waiting for the well and septic, and then we can start construction.
About a week later, I went back to Reds to meet the well digging crew. These people are gonna dig a well at Reds so people will have access to clean water. They don't know how far down they're gonna have to dig. It might be as low as 80 feet. It might be as much as 240 feet. Let me know in the comments if you're experienced with digging wells. Let me know how far you think my well is gonna be. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be between 150 and 180 feet. Let's see. As I was waiting for the well subcontractor, I decided to make a little outdoor worm bin at Reds, again for my worm farm. So I wanted to get some worms exposed to the outdoors and see if they thrived and see if they survived. So I took a 5-gallon bucket of mule doo-doo along with some red wiggler compost worms, put them together, and we're gonna see what happens in a couple weeks when I go back to the property.
Now I'm gonna add the manure, but over here, in case it heats up, the worms could just migrate over here and not burn. Worms, cocoa coir, bedding, mule manure. So in the next few months, this manure will age and be more hospitable to the worms.
Okay everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring the bell thing and all that jazz. This is Hollywood John, and I'll see you next time.